Bam! What is up with the squad? It's your favorite auntie and Uncle Tendencies in the building. I got him in here, Mr. Lover, MJ Lover 23, Big Daddy Long Dong himself. What's happening, MJ? It's Cess Talks Bets. What's good?
Oh yeah, it's a little busy this week. Good to put something together. Beware of your bets being taken off. If you see them early in the morning, all of a sudden by afternoon they're gone. I have a few cases of that right now. So always, if you have a good idea or feeling about a pick that's early on in the day, you might as well just put it in. Make sure they can't take it from you later.
Let me take a moment to say happy birthday to Dr. Truckenstein. Dr. Truckenstein. Happy birthday, Dr. Truckenstein, man. Hope you're enjoying. What up? What up?
AKA linguistics.
Mr. Linguistics. Vito, what's happening? I mean, we gotta get to some picks. So what's the word?
Vito. I know. I don't even know if Vito's a bad. Vito, you a gambler? You put some shekels on some things. You just hang out for fun. You let us know.
But we gotta get to some picks. So let's see what you got going
on. So one thing is I can't what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So early on this week, I mentioned something about the 4-pack that we established last season, so to speak. Next week, I think I should be able to do a 4-pack. There's only, baseball's coming to an end, so it might be even a playoff 4-pack, but I'm not sure. I have to double check. But the 4-pack will be coming, but not today. I don't even think I'll be able to do it this weekend. So, but 4-pack's good because that will be a kind of an offset of the ladder picks that we've established. So, just for the record, you can probably see if on the slide it says day 2. So day 1, which I got tied up and I wasn't able to actually do a live show. We started over from, I don't even want to mention who it was. It was irritating to say the least when I went back to watch it. But we missed the ladder pick by 1. So yesterday, the first 2 on the ladder pick hit, and that's usually what I recommend is the first 2. You pick 2 out of the 3. You can pick 3 and do a parlay, but for the most part, the first 2 are the ones that are the strongest picks, and those 2 hit. So we are doing day 2 of the ladder pick, which means day 2, if you put 1 shekel on it, you should have 2. If you put 10 shekels on it, you should have at least 20. So we are going to put that 20 up so that we can get 40. And the picks that we put in here, which I'm trying to find all of them right now, just making sure they're not trying to take them away from us again. I found 2 of them. So first one's Pete Alonso. Second one is Vinny Pascatino. I think that's his name. Here's the thing. So Matt Scherzer, not to be confused with Kyle Schwarber, aging pitcher, still kind of good, but every once in a while he gives up a lot. So Vinny has a good matchup with him, and then this is kind of a surprise one. So be careful of this pick. I have Lenoris Sellers on here for under 1.5 touchdowns. They are going up against, if I can remember right, actually I have it right here. They're going up against Mizzou, who is ranked number 23 in the nation. They have most of their players that are not injured, and they've been putting up a whole bunch of points, and their defense has been doing pretty well. So pick this one at your own risk. I just put it up there because I'm just looking at his stat, and plus we don't even know if he's fully right. He did leave the last game early with an undisclosed injury that I'm saying undisclosed because I don't know what it is specifically. That I'm quite sure they gave some kind of an explanation. I don't know how he's going to play through it, though. Some people can play well through injury. Some people can't, right? Either you're hurt or you're injured. He's probably just hurt, but still doesn't mean it don't hurt. It's not going to hamper his performance. So we're taking the under on the 1.5 if you want to get an extra risky frisky on it. Questions, comments, and concerns? All right, I got two. Let me see if I can get him on there real quick.
Didn't Lenoris lead the game because he got his bell rung?
Is that with the concussion protocol?
Yeah, I thought he left because he got his bell rung.
I mean, if that's the case, then that's cool too. But still, if he got his bell rung, and even if they did reinstate him, doesn't mean he's won't be still a little bit fuzzy going into the game. So, I'm just looking at the last part of last season too, going into this season, and he hasn't thrown a 2 touchdowns in a game in about 6 or 7 games. So I'm just going with the trends on that. Like I said, it is a risky.
Oh, no. I was just really asking. I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was remembering why Lenoris went out the game.
Yeah, because I remember you mentioned it in one of the lives too. That
I thought he got his bell rung.
The reason why he left early, I was kind of disappointed because I thought I had him in one of my picks too. For
I did. When he went out, it threw my
whole thing off. Yeah,
parlays.
Yeah. That's the one thing about those picks too, is that's why a round robin. It's an extra shekel or two to do the round robin, but it's worth it when something like that happens. You never know when somebody's not going to make it to the finish line of a game for whatever reason. So with that said, that's pretty solid. So we're going to, as soon as I find hiding the South Carolina game from me, they better be in here for me to pick. Once I get that, there it is. So once I find that bet, I'm going to make this ticket and I'm going to put it in the wanna bet section. I believe that Cess is able to actually get this out to. I'll put it in the X account, so you guys will be able to see it too and be able to tail it.
Okay, cool. So you're expecting a low-scoring game for Liberty Mercury?
Well, I mean, so if you look at the game total is 155.5. So what is 155.5? That's what is that? That's like 78 or 79. Yeah, 79.80 or something like that. I mean, it's that's what they're saying, and I think it's because the New York Liberty they slow the ball down a lot, right? So when you watch them play, you'll see, because they're a bigger team, right? They have a few guards that are quick, but they have a bigger team overall, and the bigger team is a little bit slower than most. So what they do is that, when they run their sets, most of them don't crash the boards. They're running back on defense, right? So they're making sure that people can't fast break back on them, because that's exactly what Phoenix and Alyssa Thomas and Copper like to do. But once they get the ball off the rim, they're running right at you. So you're going to see a lot of that. It's going to slow the game down. Not saying they won't hit that 155.5. I mean, it'll be right at the line, I think. I think it's going to be right at the line, especially in the playoffs. So that's why I'm not even touching. I mean, the spread, you might be able to get away with the spread on whoever you decide to pick. But the total, I'm not even touching that at all. But I think one of the best picks out of this setup, and these are so okay. I think so. What happened yesterday when I went back to go double check a few picks? Absolutely got smacked on the Aces picks. And it was mostly it was Alyssa. Sorry, and Alyssa, she killed me because she did next to nothing. Statistically, that is, not saying that she didn't contribute to the win, but Jackie Young went under on 3 of her props, in the win.
And
So
after it was a cold depoy, it was nothing. Nobody was going off but Asia. It
right,
was only going to be
exactly.
Asia.
That's all I was hearing because I was listening while I was out and about on location. I was listening to Asia, Asia this and Asia that, and
Asia. It was only going to be Asia.
now when she missed those two at the end, it's kind of in and out and around. It was so good that Jackie Young knew to crash the boards when that shot went up, because otherwise she was going to get blocked out by somebody who just a split second when you don't do your job for a split second, that's what happens. Right. So I mean my Seattle Storm had a chance to make the upset of the playoffs. But that split second cost them, and Jo got that opportunity to go up one, and the rest is history. Now, with that said, I think one of the picks that's been pretty solid is Sabrina Ionescu going under points and assists, 23.5. 3 for 12, I think, was her last game. And even going into the playoffs, he was shooting bad. So the guards for the Mercury are just too athletic. Right. I mean, she can't escape them. If she doesn't come off the pick and roll right, if they play the pick and roll right, they stifle her. And she has to make tough shots. I think that's why the shooting percentage is way off, because she's had to take tougher shots than she wants to. So I'm taking that one's probably the best pick out of that game, is that points and assists. It's a little risky because every here and there she does get a larger assist total, and if like Rob would say, ref number 42 is in the game, she's apt to get a few more free throws than she usually does. So with the conspiracy theory thought in there, Sabrina should be the best pick out of that game. There we go. All right, where are you, Lenoris? There he is. Lenoris under. All right, so that is only at plus 191 if we do it that way. And I'll slap on this patented rule. So what is it? So is that right? Okay, I have to figure that one out. I'm not sure. Let me see if did that come out right? I think it did. No, it didn't come out right. I had to redo that. That's fine. I'll redo it. But anyway, next game. So one game on the docket for the WNBA. I do have two games that are not tonight. They are for tomorrow. Those are the college football games of Southern Carolina and the Mizzou Tigers. The best bet, because I already put the under touchdowns up for the latter picks. Another one you could go kind of frisky on is under 28.5 rushing yards, because I mean if you're coming back from a concussion protocol, most likely you're not going to run a whole lot, and if you do, you're probably going to slide short. So 28.5 under the rushing yards, that looks to be a good one of the better bets. Kevin Coleman has I think he had over 5 receptions one game out of the last 2 to start the season. But if Mizzou has the ball a lot, he's probably going to exceed that. But like I said, I think the Lenoris bet is going to be a little bit better for everybody involved. With that said, we'll get over to Colorado hosting the Wyoming Cowboys. Or are they Cowboys too? I'm trying to remember. Wyoming. I think they're Cowboys. Yeah, whatever. Colorado. So this is another thing with Colorado. So there may be another quarterback change, evidently, from what I heard. They may be going back to game one starter. Not sure.
Caden Salters, from what I understand, is playing.
Is he playing? Okay, so they've already made the change. That makes this pick even more kind of iffy because Miller, even though Miller has not had a stellar start to the season, Caleb actually looks for him a lot, even though it doesn't always reflect in the targets. When I watch the games, he's always looking his way. I'm not sure if he's not confident in the routes that Miller is running, but I don't think Caden Anderson under 169.5 passing yards. I don't think that's going to be viable. I might even take the over on that, to be honest with you. I might take the over on that just because I think it's like minus 108 or something low like that. So if he hits it, it's going to be fantastic. That'll probably go on a second ticket, kind of a second risky frisky ticket I'll put into the Discord. Miller, yeah. That's I can't. That one's probably the one that I'll go with that one. I don't feel good about it though.
All right. So you don't really feel good about it. All right, we'll see.
Feel good about that one. I mean, they still got a lot of weapons. They're not even using who's the 6'2" wide receiver? I'm drawing a blank on him, but yeah, I mean, he has the best catch radius on the team, and they're not using him nearly as much. So, like I said, usually means quarterback doesn't trust his routes. Because you usually want to get to the player that has the best catch radius on the team, especially on third downs and when you need a first down, right? So, anyways, let's get over the hot hitters. So hot hitters, I thought that I had a good bead on the hot hitters. I was wrong. So hot hitters is definitely still volatile. The only thing with hot hitters that I would tell people is that is that Hit Buddy? Hit Buddy, yeah. So Hit Buddy told me a few times, and if Hit Buddy MLB is a free site, you can go there and it'll tell you who has the longest hit streaks. The only thing that hit streaks does not do is that it doesn't tell you the matchup, how good the matchup is. It'll tell you who it is, and then it'll also tell you, what their history is against them this year. And sometimes there's times where batters haven't even faced the starting pitcher this year, which is weird. But for the most part, like I'm trying to find an example for you guys right now that might be on the list. Great example. So one of the guys, Agustin Ramirez, he's going up against Tyler Molly for Texas. Hasn't had a hit against this guy this year. But if you actually look at there's a few other sites, they say that the team has a good matchup against Tyler. And that's kind of deceiving because it's a right-handed versus right-handed matchup, which it does make a little bit of a difference if he was left-handed versus, and vice versa. But 9-game hit streak, and he's batting third, I think, today. So that's why I put him on the list. Even though it looks like he hasn't had a hit against this guy this year, I'm playing his hot streak. And being at the end of the season where, the Marlins aren't really playing for a whole lot, I don't think. If I have to double check the standings on that. That's one of the reasons why he's at the top of the list right now in the hot hitters. Austin Hayes, another decent example of good. He's actually only on a 5-game hit streak. and I think he was on a 9 or 10 game hit streak earlier this month. But yeah, when I picked him, he actually didn't get it. So that's kind of what it is. Like, most likely there will be 2 of these guys that'll get their hits and 1 that won't. I was on a good roll with the hot hitters and the good matchups for about a week, where we were sweeping or hitting 5 out of 6. But Hayes looks like a good matchup today. Jeremy Pena for Houston, they have a good matchup against that pitcher. So those 3 are definitely going in. The good matchup section, I may have made a small miscalculation, but I think it's going to even out in the end. The good matchup section has Kyle Raleigh getting on base. So for those of you who don't know, Kyle Raleigh is a full-time starter catcher for the Seattle Mariners. And he has tied Mickey Mantle, I think he's tied Mickey Mantle, or he's trying to break Ken Griffey Jr.'s team record of 55 home runs. So he's not that far away. They're not going to pitch to him. I'm just letting you guys know. He's going to get minimum chances to actually get his 54th and 55th home run. So I'm anticipating they're going to walk him. It's probably going to be the easiest money you're going to make. And then Francisco Lindor, he's been spraying balls all over the place too. I think he's on a 7-game hit streak. And he also, let me see. He is another one of those guys. He's going to get up against Brandon Sprott for the Washington. Why am I always drawing a blank on their name? He has not hit against him, but he is on a 7-game hit streak with a home run, an RBI, 5 walks, right? Because that's basically what we were looking for. But we're looking for him to get on base because Francisco Lindor, he's a switch hitter. So doesn't matter if he's right or left-handed. He should get a hit today.
All right. I mean, you calling them out. You really calling them out.
Yeah,
We're going to see how this thing ends up.
We going to see. Let me put this up. I'm going to put this up. It's irritating me to death, but I'm going to put it up anyway. Comments, questions concerning anybody? Anybody? I am, while we're on the excursion, one of the things that I am battling with DraftKings on is, for some reason, they have not allowed me to change my billing address so that I can enter into the millionaire maker, which is very irritating because I also want to enter into this. There's a couple of single events that I think they're either $7 or $9, and first prize is $50,000. So, and it's not. I mean, you're going into a large field, but not nearly as large as a millionaire maker. But it gives you a good chance to be able to actually, get a good lineup and to get a chance for big money for like $9 a lineup. So, single plays are pretty lucrative if you pay attention to ownership trends and matchups. They're not always foolproof, but they do get you into the money most of the time. So,
all right. Did you get through good matchups?
I did.
All right. I had a call. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all know him as Lover 23. He also is known as
Mr. Lava.
Hey, it's moonshots of the day, baby. It's moonshots of the day. What you got?
So moonshots, couple tricky ones here. So Austin Martin for Minnesota, they do not have a good matchup, even though he's been pretty decent in the last 10 games as far as getting on base and hits. Sal Frelick, that's another guy. He's been burning me the last couple of weeks. Every time I go to pick him on, he misses. Been on a couple of hit streaks. As soon as I put him on the hit streak list, doesn't get it. So that one's going to be a moonshot for sure. Joseph Williams, that's who I was thinking of. So he's a long ball threat. So we're going to see that. That's good that Caleb's is back because that's his guy. Well, when he goes deep, Williams is the guy that he usually goes to the most, just based off of what I saw in some of the stats. So with that said, 22.5 for his long reception is not out of the question. It's good odds on as a minus 120. That's probably the best pick out of the three.
Okay. I hear you. All right. We're gonna see. But I mean, after a moonshot, the only thing left to have. Big Daddy Long Dogs. Extra long dong shots of the day, baby. The extra long dong shots of the day. What you got?
Alyssa Thomas under 15.5 points. This isn't out of lot. She hasn't hit in the last 2 games in this series. So, I mean, why not pick this one over some of the other ones that she had? I mean, Alyssa Thomas, of course, we know what she can do. We don't know how she's going to get her triple doubles sometimes, but for the most part, she gets there regardless of how many points she scores, 10 or more. But I think it's under 15.5 is good because this is a playoff game. She's definitely going to be looking for Copper and a few of the other teammates to actually hit some open shots. Johnny Pareda from Minnesota, another one. This one's another guy. He's not even going to get I think he's batting middle of the lineup, so he's not going to get as many at-bats as Austin Martin is. So that's why he's in the extra long dong shots of the day section. Minus 119 is not bad, though. You know, it's not bad to put on a ticket. A second ticket, that is.
Okay. We're going to find out. Alyssa Thomas, under 15.5. I think Alyssa Thomas snaps tonight. But we'll see.
What you mean?
I think she goes over 15.5 on the points.
What you mean, 20, 10, and 10?
Nah, somewhere like 18. I can see like 18, 19, flirting with 20.
Just remember,
especially because she missed. Yeah, because she missed stuff on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the last game.
Okay.
So I just think she take,
chippies.
She may go a little bit further.
Just like
we can't leave here without Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, the Easter eggs. So we got
the fact that Alyssa was kind of disrespected. I don't know how she wasn't included in the
the MVP voting.
Defensive player in the defense either. Like,
oh, interesting. I didn't know that. That's Gabby. Right. They had Gabby up there. Yeah,
they had Gabby with 9. They had Nafisa, who was the best defensive player in the year in the league last year, just 2 this year. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, that was weird. I saw. I heard you guys talking about that today, and that's a question I still don't understand. I
forgot who pointed that out.
I can't remember who did, but you know what that reminds me of. It's like, so here's what it reminds me of. Just real quick before we get to the Easter egg. So it was Alana Smith who had the co-defensive player of the year with Aja Wilson, which is such a cop-out. Not sure how people actually came up with that brilliance. But she was second team all defense, right?
I don't even remember.
I can't remember. But or
I don't want to tell no lie. I usually don't even remember the teams. Like that's okay, man. I remember the winners. The records, brother, man.
Yeah. She had a better defensive record last year, or rating last year.
Oh, somebody did point that out. Somebody did point that she had a better defensive rating.
So Fee won it last year, defensive player of the year, even though
she did.
Smith had a better or comparable defensive rating to Fee last season. She has a slightly lesser number this year, but was able to get co defensive player of the year playing less minutes and not being in the top 3 in 4 to 5 of the defensive categories.
Meanwhile, somebody check Asia's numbers.
I don't get it.
What they were last year. She wasn't good enough to be Cole last year.
Exactly. Now here's what that reminds me of. That reminds me of, and of course it's gonna remind me of this. 2013, Marc Gasol won Defensive Player of the Year. However, he barely made second team all defense, and it's only because they moved Larry Sanders, who made the second team, to a forward when he played for Milwaukee. And I'm not talking about Larry Sanders from Pardon the Interruption. Larry Sanders was basically the full-time center for the Milwaukee Bucks, and he was basically one of the better defensive centers in the entire league. They moved him from center to forward, and that's how Marc Gasol got on as second team, because they moved him over. Otherwise, he didn't have enough votes to even make second team that year. Yep. So now, with that said, going back to Asia, so if Asia gets this outright, which it does count for a full Defensive Player of the Year award in the record books. It doesn't. I mean, it'll have a hyphen or whatever the case may be, but it's not a half. It does count. So, she is working her way up that list. I'm not saying she's going to get to Shamika Holdsclaw, but I mean, it doesn't sit right with a lot of us with this code, because I remember when Jason Kidd and what's his name, trying to remember who it was, were co-rookies of the year. It's like, what? There's no way they were co. Jason Kidd was killing everybody. But then other people liked the way the other player was playing. I can't remember who it was at the time. So I don't know but that was like literally almost 2 decades ago that happened. So it doesn't always happen, but when it happens in cases like this, when you have a player that people are like, we can't give it to her because she's always doing this and we got to reward somebody else. No, you don't. No, you do not. When people earn awards, they should get awards, right? We all know Michael Jordan should probably have 10 regular season NBA MVPs. We know that, right? It was just, but people were like, this guy had a similar year and, his best year of his career. And it was, we were going to give it like Charles Barkley. 93, Charles Barkley got the MVP. If you guys don't think Michael Jordan didn't use that as fuel to beat the pants off of him in the finals, you probably don't watch a whole lot of basketball. Same thing, I think it was in 97. I think it was in 97. Karl Malone got the MVP. Yeah, Michael Jordan didn't hesitate to whoop up on them every chance he got that season, regular season and in the finals. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Be careful what you wish for when you do stuff like that. You motivate really great players to do really great things. Now, with that said, Easter eggs. So Josh Naylor, hot hitter, end of the year.
Hey, before you jump into that, did you see Kenny's question?
What
app do you bet on?
There's a few. I know Cess has access to FanDuel and DraftKings. We do Prize Picks because I think Rob does Prize Picks. There's Underdog. Underdog is available too. So basically, any pick. Most of the picks that we do will work on Underdog and Prize Picks. The only thing with that is I think Prize Picks has the goblins. They have the good goblins, the bad goblins. And then you got to just figure out where our picks fit in what you're trying to do. Any questions that you have, definitely throw them out. Put them in the chat so we can actually we'll go through them live if we have a chance to do it.
Oh yeah, because I'm here learning. I don't know. This what I'm here learning.
Yeah, a lot of what we do, a lot of what I try to get people on is that single tickets are fine. If you're gonna parlay, yeah, we do Prize Picks for sure. Even if you're gonna parlay parlay your tickets, make sure you round robin. If you're gonna do 3 or 4 picks on a ticket, I suggest you round robin them, just because if you miss one, you'll still have a chance to actually make a profit or break even, right? So the one tickets where you do 4 to 7 or 8, because there'll be some tickets this year, and I did sent a message. Shout out to Thick Vegan Afro. We were talking real brief about the Bud Crawford Canelo fight in Discord the other day. I told her I put just to win. I didn't put a round or anything like that, and I tied it in with like a baseball pick. And I hit on the fight, of course, but I missed on the baseball picks. I don't want to talk about that. But with that said, you'll be able to take advantage of our. I'll put together some 25 and 40,000 to 1 picks for our degenerates that like to put a shekel down, like the AKA call it our lottery picks. But it's worth it. It's worth the fun. It's worth the sweat. And I'll get more of those out once college basketball season hits. NFL is getting into full swing, and I think we're waiting on. No, I guess we're not waiting on hockey. Hockey's just gonna come around. We're waiting on NBA. That's what's going to get us to those 40,000 to 1 picks. They're pretty. When you see them, you're gonna whatever, yeah. But if you really look at some of these picks, we get really close sometimes. So we get really close. All we need to do is hit one.
Kenny, you on the Prize Picks?
Yeah,
I don't get to do Prize Picks here.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't. So
I can do a certain part of Prize Picks, but I can't do the actual like game picks and all of that.
The actual picks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but I'm pretty much in between BetMGM. I pretty much do a lot of FanDuel. Got some DraftKings. BetMGM is available. Better, ESPN, Sports Illustrated. I mean, all of those main ones.
And that's good. That's a lot. You should have those. I mean, what do you always say, Cess, about those?
For the love of God, shop around for the best line. Gotta look around. And then sometimes, especially like some of the stuff, some stuff just based on the time that we give it to you is not going to be available.
Yeah,
you have to make some kind of some switches depending on what time we drop the show, or what time you see the picks. So with that,
shop around
a little bit.
Exactly. Get the best odds. That's how you're going to get the best shekel for your buck. Make sure you shop around for the right lines, because they're out there. You just got to make sure that you're hitting the right ones. So now, with that said, if we can get to those, I mean, I have access to a number of those, like underdog prize pick lines, just to make sure that they're right. If I'll start putting that into some of the pick lines that we're doing, just to let you guys know which ones have the best lines on them. So with that said, toughest matchup for Hunter Brown today. He should get on base. And let me see, Seong Kim for Atlanta, he should get on base too. Whether he's going to get a hit or get walked, he should get on base. And then good old one-legged Brianna Stewart. Hopefully, if she plays long enough, she should get at least 2 assists. She could probably get that before halftime hits. Hopefully, she's well enough to play the whole game. But if not, be careful of that pick.
Be very, very careful anyway.
Yeah.
Be very, very careful anyway with that pick. Because I want to see what Kai Copper and them are going to say about tonight. I mean, really, really.
It ought to be good. It ought to be good.
All right. We pretty much have everything where I'm at. Oh, okay, man.
Exactly. Yeah, you set up. Just make sure, keep. Just let us know if you just happen to be in the chat. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know. The show kind of varies. I agreed to 3 p.m. Eastern time, but my schedule doesn't always allow for that right now. But it depends on what time it is. Sometimes in the morning, I'll make a ticket and end up putting it into the wanna bet section in the Discord section. So if you are part of the Discord, if you want to be, there's a application to fill out, and you may get access to it. You may not. Depends. Maybe.
We said maybe.
Maybe. That's right. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll see about putting some extra tickets in. Let me see if I just got to see. I think there's a couple college games on tonight. I don't know if I can get a good line on those or not. We'll see. And then I'll get some out, and maybe we can get some in the X section. I'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing though, if you want to be able to really follow MJ's picks and everything, is to become get in the Discord where that stuff is posted, where you post pretty regular.
Yeah. Yeah, picks go in almost every single day. Every single day. Even if we don't have a show, the picks are usually in there. And most of the time they're there in the morning. Sometimes I'll forget to do. We do a show and I'll forget to put them in. Sometimes I just forget to put them in after I send them over to Cess, and I'll put them in later and correct them. But for the most part, I think we got Kia Highlife. She is actively doing her homework, which is fantastic. Actually, I learned something from her on a regular basis too. So, whenever we can get together, we just trying to trying to break Vegas one bet at a time. So, we all in this together.
All right. So we all in this together. One pick at a time. Be on the lookout. I believe that I still got 3-leg parlays coming out for Colorado and South Carolina. Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
We got hoops coming up later on tonight. Be on the lookout for that. I don't know, MJ, if you're around or back to work.
I'll probably be on location for the game tonight. But one thing I just before I forget, anytime touchdowns. I am going to try to put some in for college tomorrow morning. I'll put them in tonight. But for the most part, I'll be doing NFL anytime touchdowns too. So we'll get some out there. Hopefully, Derrick Henry doesn't sit there and give me 22 yards rushing and no touchdowns this week. We'll see. They're going up against Detroit, so that should be a high-scoring game, to be honest with you. Defense probably not going to be a big factor in that game. Probably.
All right. Anything else you got? Anything else you got coming up? NFL, anything?
I'm just working on once we're offline. I'm gonna finish up my my home run picks, and I guess I can put a couple of those tickets in into the X for you guys too, so you can sweat along, trail along, and see if we can get some shekels.
Wow. Okay. All right. Y'all heard it here, man. Get them picks in.
Love it.
Be on the lookout Until next time, y'all know what it is, man. Hit that like and the share. They both right there. Y'all stay tuned. Talk soon. That's MJ Lover 23, Mr. Lover. They got it long dong himself. It's Cess Talks Sports, man. Stay tuned. Talk soon. We out.